talk about another team that is rolling in the AFC. You just mentioned them. I don't know if the Ravens are worried about anybody.
No.
That team is just like the coolest team. Kyle Hamilton, all over the place.
Absolutely.
Seems like he's built like Wemby, too. So his arms, when he's reaching down, whenever he's chasing somebody down the line of scrimmage, he does like a get over here from Go-Go Gadget.
Yeah.
Just absolutely absurd on the defensive side. And Keith Van Noy looks fantastic in that 5-0. But on the offensive side, the NFL, the schedule makers, this is what we need to do. Last 2 years, in the middle of the season, whenever we're in the middle of the tunnel, there isn't a light at the end yet, and we're too far away from home, so we can't turn back. There's a lull in primetime games. The games stink. There's no real electricity. It's low scoring. It's an ugly game. Great defense. We love it. A lot of this, a lot of that. But fans go, that kind of stunk. Last 2 years now, there's been like 3-4 weeks in a row where this has happened. Just put Lamar Jackson in primetime.
Yes.
Watching him every play is electrifying. Even the plays where he either gets sacked or it's a turnover or if it's a nothing play. It's like at any given moment, boom, that thing can explode. With the way he's throwing the rock this year, too, not only just in the pocket, but on the run, he's dropping balls into absolute buckets. It's a fantastic offense to watch visually. And then if you look at how they're built, Patrick Ricard got a ball last night. He might be 275 pounds,
at least
280 pounds. They're a bunch of dogs over there as well. The team is built to not only be entertaining, but be dominant. And they have been. Likely
coming along, balling.
So tall.
Yeah.
So athletic. So seemingly open. And when you lose Mark Andrews, you think to yourself, well, and that can happen anytime.
Anytime.
He's supposed to be tackled by 5 people right here, and he wasn't tackled by any of them. He got paid this past offseason. He was his own agent. Obviously, he's incredibly savvy and intelligent. But this year, that whole team feels to be a wagon. And Baltimore might have home field advantage. And when you think about going to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the coolest plays that has happened this season. This was filthy. This was absolutely filthy here. Just the step back, fall back, throw up. Likely's bigger and more athletic than you. He's going to go get it. That's thrown to a spot, and they can always do this. So they have to be worried like hell, and they can't get as many people into coverage because they got to watch for Lamar. They got to have a spy at all times. It's just like, and then you think about in Baltimore being an advantage. I love this Ravens team. I absolutely enjoy them. I think they could go on a run this year.
Yeah.
They've won a playoff game with Lamar Jackson as quarterback. This year feels different out of there. Feels expected, and I think a lot of people are just getting introduced to this year's team because they haven't been on primetime much, even though they should have been this entire season.
Yeah, I still think, it's going to start with a run game on offense with Lamar, but to go on a real playoff run and win a Super Bowl championship, he's going to have to continue to evolve from the pocket. He's been doing a great job of that all year long, and that is absolutely electrifying. When he's back there in that pocket, that's a nightmare for defense because you can be in the perfect coverage. You can be all over the route concepts, jump it, and then 8 runs around and then make something happen. Then you see later in the year, after guys have got to this point, that's when they start using their legs more as quarterbacks. Bad weather games, so he's an absolute nightmare. Then on the other side of the ball, Mike McDonald in this defense. I mean, you spoke about Kyle Hamilton.
Man.
Clowney's having an unbelievable year. I don't want to mess 9-2's names up. Anybody want to take a stab at it?
I believe it is a Budik.
Matabuke?
Matabuke. There it is.
But yeah, 11 NFL record, 11 straight games with at least a half a sack. That's insane. You talked about
They said they call him Baby Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Baby Aaron, that's what we'll call him.
Great
Geno Stone, just a bunch of dogs on that defense. They do a bunch of different. Obviously, the linebackers are incredible as well with Queen and Smith. But they got all the pieces. It's no reason that team can't go.
I love the thought of this Ravens team just doing it.
Yes.
Because all of the conversation about them has been next to nothing. Have not been talked about on the national stage at all.
3?
Yeah, just rolling. Won a game, obviously, with a punt return against the Rams a week ago. Harbaugh's always going to have sound special teams, which obviously will only continue into the playoffs. I love the Ravens team. And in the AFC, another team in the AFC North, hey, Jake Browning's got it.
Yeah,
he's a dog.
Hey, Jake Browning's really got it. This guy seems to really have the ability to lead. Now, obviously, they get a big-time win. McPherson's a dude. McPherson's a stud. They're able to do it. All the conversation afterward, though, from Jake Browning is basically saying that the Vikings shouldn't have cut him.
Yeah.
And they're in a spot that they're in because he's not on the team. I'm learning a lot about Jake Browning over the last couple of weeks.
Love that.
Did not expect the moxie out of this guy, but what he's doing in Cincy should definitely be chatted about. Here's Jake talking about what he said to a camera during the game.
that one felt good.
Browning looking, scrambling to the right. Browning going downfield. It is caught. The Bengals convert on 3rd down and 9. The snap, the placement, the right-footed kick. It is good.
I think right after we made the field goal to win the game, I screamed at a camera and said they never should have cut me.
Should have never cut me!
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that the whole week and then go lose. You just wait until you win and then don't look like an idiot. I feel like I need a beer.
Why? That's from the jungle, obviously, over there in Cincinnati. I did not expect this from this guy.
Nope.
I love this dude. Just like the Joe Burrow mentality is like cold. This dude's a savage as well. The boys are winning over there with him.
Yeah, that game turned out to be an unbelievable one. That last throw to Higgins, that when he had the reach over touchdown, unbelievable game. But Browning's got that dog in him, man. The guys around him, they believe in him. Mixon, that running back group, has stepped their game up since he's become the starter. I want to say leading the league, at least coming into this week, as far as yak yards and screen yards, so taking care of the ball in that department. Jamar Chase obviously got banged up, so we'll see what happens there. But just finding a way to win, man, that's all you want with any guy in there, but especially your backup guy. And then to see him on the sideline, I love finding out a little bit more about the guys, how they're wired. And it's personal, man. Whenever teams cut you and we know it's business, trade, whatever, that shit is always personal. So I love to see that. That play is unbelievable.
Filthy. Yeah, this one is absolutely filthy. The wherewithal to know exactly where you are, the strength to keep your balance, and the core to be able to extend that without fumbling. I mean, filthy. Absolutely filthy. They're obviously happy that he's back healthy. Let's talk about the team that they beat there, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Nick Mullins goes for 300 yards.
Yeah. Whoa.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He might be the answer for them at quarterback. But I was watching Football Night in America last night. And I saw something from Steve Kornacki where he was breaking down the wild card situation in the NFC side of it all. And the Vikings are involved in this. Yep. Now, the conversation is way smarter than anything we could do. So we actually just asked the NBC folks, hey, can we run the Kornacki piece? Now, we all remember Steve Kornacki from his evening after election night where he was working the map with his sleeves rolled up, giving the answers to the entire world. I mean, he was just rolling, boom, boom, boom. We need to go to this county. Well, how many people are there? Who cares what they do 10 years ago? They did this. Let me zoom out. Let me get back in over here. Let me zoom back into this town. Then he started getting into the Football Night in America stuff where he started breaking down odds for teams to win and for teams to make the playoffs. And every year, it has made us better and made us a lot smarter. Now, we don't have it. We don't have it.
Yeah, the audio came through on the clip. Muted.
Jeez.
Which has been happening lately. I don't know what's going on with X or Instagram, but that has been happening.
That's literally, the audio is the only thing we need.
That's it, actually.
From Steve Kornacki. We actually got it approved by NBC. I feel like we did the real professional stuff.
Chain of command.
It was the smartest. I mean, we were a real professional operation there. Now we don't have the audio. Anyways, Saints and Rams play Thursday night.
Huge.
Okay. Right now, Saints and Vikings over in the last 2 spots for the playoffs. Saints-Rams play Thursday night. If Rams beat Saints, they are all of a sudden, boom, up in there. Vikings 7-7. Their remaining schedule, they got the Lions twice, I do believe. So they have a chance to potentially get knocked out of there. This Viking story that we fell in love with the Pastronaut and Kevin O'Connell. Then it moves to the Nick Mullins era. Now, a season that started with the football gods potentially hating the Vikings. Then the Vikings getting on a run and becoming back into this all. They lose Kirk Cousins. It's all for naught almost. This wild card picture for both the AFC and NFC is getting very, very heated. And a lot of these games coming up are very important. We're in a great time of year right now for the NFL, Conman.
Yeah, no, it's the best. I mean, this is exactly why we watch. This is why we play. Obviously, there are some games that aren't as great as others, but with all these teams in it, is this the most teams that have been in it in Week 15? It feels like that middle of the road. It's never been this tight where there are teams, 2 or 3 on both sides that are even with those last couple spots.